17 years ago.
So Tectone gets accused of sexual misconduct, and then he pivots to fuck Hassan content to distract from it. And then Hassan sees it, and he's like, well, your dad is a rapist. Okay? And then Tectone starts crying. Literally. Like, I'm not making that up. Like, he literally cried about it. Even though it's fucking true, his dad is a rapist. Okay? And anyway, and now he's just, like, admitting all of it in court? Why? What, dude? You could not torture this out of me. If this were me, you could not torture me hard enough to get me to admit this shit. What the fuck? Like, let alone just depose me. Like, I would be silent. Why the fuck would you say that? Welcome back to the J-Star broadcast. What up, my bone smashers? What up, my moggers? We are back. It is the J-Star it's J-Star broadcast time. Okay. I've been away for a few days. I was somehow able to keep my uploads going. I had barely enough videos, unfortunately. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of sluggish lately. Okay, I gotta lock in, bro. Well, I say I've been sluggish. Okay, it's more like I've been going at my normal pace, but I've been wanting to ramp up, but I haven't been doing that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been doing that, but I'm going to. Okay, and actually, I kind of already started today. I edited 2.5 videos. 2.5. Yeah. So I've been hard at work. But anyway, enough of that shit. Today we're gonna be watching. So we have a lot of videos on the roster because I've been gone for a few days. So right now I have like 5 videos on the roster. I'm gonna try to knock 3 of them out today. And we're gonna start with kind of a special one. Okay, I know. I react to the people that are right wing. Okay, but this is a special video. I want to watch this shit. I want to react to it live. It came out 11 hours ago, and it's called "Fuck My Enemies" by Hassan.
Los
Okay, let's see what Hassan has got to say.
Carefully, because this facts. Like, he just goes on this like long tangent, basically saying like,
oh yeah, okay, I saw this. So there's this guy that I keep seeing on like Instagram. People share his reels. Okay, he goes by Los Pooos, but he's not Mexican. Okay, he's not Mexican. He's fucking like Italian. I think he's from Jersey, right? But anyway, apparently he's been tweeting like, bada bing, it's just common sense, like, don't fuck with law enforcement, just obey the law, comply or die, hey, I'm walking here, and it's like, I don't know, what the fuck, look at this shit, this is like a wall of text, what the hell?
You're gonna around and find out if you actually speak out, or if you actually do something about ICE, like instead of just like rolling over and letting them kill you,
Exactly.
You kind of deserve it. If you disagree with anything in the country, you can peacefully protest anything you want, even though you're wasting your precious time on this earth and it's annoying. It's not against the law to protest. It is against the law to interfere with literal federal agents, police, etc. You cannot do that. I don't give a how you feel about ICE. Do you want to get hurt? Nobody with a sane mind would drive a car into federal agents, run up on them, and
that's what was happening, bro.
Interfere,
that's
grab,
exactly
push,
what happened.
Shove, touch in any way whatsoever. It's like, bro, you are literally 0 IQ. Okay, like, you have reframed these events in a way that makes ICE look like they're doing normal federal operations when they're not. Like, you only arrive at this position if you
man, I say this every time I react to Hassan, okay, which has only been like 3 times. Okay, I've only reacted to this is like the 3rd time. Okay, but fucking Hassan's chat, like, coming back to Hassan's videos, his Twitch, right, reacting to him and seeing his chat is just, it's so nice. It's so nice. It's like a breath of fresh air every time. Okay, like, I'm so used to watching the most unhinged people and looking at their chat And so when I come here, it's really great. Okay, I gotta say it every time. Okay, because it's something that I really appreciate. Okay, I love you, Hassan Chat.
You have slave mindset.
Chat,
okay,
I love you guys.
If you are a slave who is most famous for being castrated and ends up committing, right, like that famous Wikipedia article that I think of all the time when I see this kind of shit. That's where my mind goes. I'm like, you are literally a castrated slave. Okay, like what are you talking about? ICE is not doing normal federal operations. Just because the government said that ICE needs to go and kill people in a neighborhood, or ICE needs to go and like deport people in a neighborhood, doesn't mean that it's the appropriate thing to do. Doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Do you agree with that? Do you think immigrants are all dangerous?
It doesn't even mean it's the legal thing to do. Not even close. Like ICE has been doing so much illegal shit, deporting people without due process. That is illegal. It doesn't matter if the person that they are deporting is a legal migrant, a legal non-U.S. citizen, or an undocumented one. It's still illegal. Okay, everybody has a right to due process in this country. Every single individual, whether they've broken a law or not, whether they're a legal resident or not. It's disgusting.
Be forcibly excised from.
And the reason it's important is because if we allow them to do this to undocumented migrants, then what is going to stop them from calling you an undocumented migrant, and then arresting you and deporting you without due process? Oh well, I'll just prove that I'm a citizen. I'll just show them my documents. How are you going to prove it? How are you going to prove it without due process? Do you understand? You can't. If you aren't given the opportunity in the court of law to prove your legal citizenship, then there's nothing. They'll just deport you. Okay, and again, as I've said before, when I say deport, what I really mean is ship you to a concentration camp. Okay, disappear you. That's what's happening.
From the boundaries of the state? Because if you don't, then you should probably have an opinion on this. That's number one. Number two, you then immediately identify the people that are protesting against ICE or doing community watch to try to protect their neighbors as the wrongdoers here, as the evildoers, and not the federal agency that's killing American citizens. That's insane. How can your priorities be so twisted? How can they be so distorted? How can it be so out of whack? I don't even understand it. Anyway, nobody with the same mind would drive a car into a federal agent, run up on them, interfere, grab, push, shove, touch in any way whatsoever. And it's so disrespectful to both Renee Good and Alex Peretti as well, because we saw those videos, and those videos don't show this at all. Peasant mindset, classic hog mindset. Please listen, stop listening to the people on the internet lying to you, saying we're invaded and it's Nazis and there aren't cops or whatever because those people are directly getting people killed. No politician either should be telling people that ICE needs to be abolished. You're just making more and more people that are slow think they need to go out and fight these people that are trying to do their job. Also, very funny that he's calling people defending their own community slow when this is the slowest goddamn POV I've ever heard in my entire goddamn life. Okay? Oh, be smart like me. What are you doing? Be smart like me. Eat the dick. Eat the government's dick every day. Be smart. Come on now. I'm apolitical. By the way, this is like classic case of an apolitical guy who runs around saying he's apolitical, but then also will just straight up take the government propaganda, hook, line, and sinker. Fight these people who are just trying to do their jobs. Yeah, so were the Nazis. It doesn't matter how you feel America voted for this. If you disagree, it's okay, but you can't stop it. Do I personally agree with the way it's happening? Like, bro, if they came after this motherfucking chicken tenders, okay? If they came after this motherfucking chicken nuggets, he would be feeling a different type of way, okay? But because he's so out of touch, his perspective is completely warped. This is what I mean. It's like, oh, I'm just apolitical. Why don't you let the government do its thing? What are you doing? Like, don't criticize. He could have just Drake and drove. You know what I mean? He could have just Drake and drove instead of tweeting this. But instead, he tweeted this. So when I saw it, and I'm already in transit, I'm coming back to LA, I was like, well, okay, suck my dick. Do I personally agree with the way this is happening with social media, how there were weird hype videos arresting illegal immigrants? No, that's weird. But that doesn't change the fact that people voted for this. I don't want to see anybody get hurt the same way. You shouldn't argue or fight with police if you're pulled over, etc. The same thing. The particular incident yesterday is tragic, but would never have happened if that guy didn't do what he did. Yeah, which is literally watching a woman get pushed into the concrete, okay, and then stepping in. He's literally turning around and saying like, be a pussy, allow ICE agents to you. They can you in the ass. Why don't you let them your butt? Why don't you open up? Make it easier for them to thrust their little dicks in your balls. I don't understand it. If you see a ICE agent and they decide to kill somebody, you can't even film it. Don't dare film it because then they might get mad. You don't want to piss them off. These guys are scary. This particular incident yesterday is tragic. Don't even put yourself in a position for there to be a fatal accident or mistake. These agents are cops. Any law enforcement are humans. They're people with families. They don't want to die either. If they feel threatened because they don't know, hey, what the you're planning? You're chasing them, driving them after running up on them. You're putting yourself and them in a bad position. Yeah, it's like victim blaming. Yeah, you were kind of asking for it. Okay, you were kind of asking for it. Why'd you put yourself in the crosshairs of an ICE agent? Everybody knows if an ICE agent wants to kill you, they're like a T-Rex or a Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. Don't make any sort of movements. They will eat you. And if they do eat you, I say, hey, why were you in the vicinity of a Velociraptor? You were asking for it. Like, are you stupid? Like, if they're human beings, they should be able to respond to other human beings without escalating.
Dude, Hassan, he always capitalizes on the comedy, and he does it in the best way possible. Okay, this shit is funny. Even if you're a Hassan hater, you gotta admit, this shit is pretty funny. Okay, the fucking Jersey people are so easy to make fun of, and especially if you've seen The Sopranos. Especially if you've like watched the Sopranos. Okay, it's funny.
Violence and tear gassing people in the face, right? This isn't rocket science. Leave these motherfuckers alone, or you run the risk of getting hurt or worse. I don't know, or how people ever got this idea that it's a good idea to interfere with law enforcement. Please just stop. Hey, yo, if I find out anything is hiding in my friend's attic, I'm telling the Gestapo, because otherwise they can't do the jobs right. Sorry, neighbor. I know we're in the Netherlands, but guess what? It's Nazi lands now. Give them up. That's what it is. Like, please just comply, bro. Tread on me. Oh yeah, tread on me. So I responded. Okay, he's like, I'm not here defending what happened to that guy yesterday. Whatever. He like said all this dumb afterwards, right? Because like I saw this tweet and I immediately was like, you say this because they're not storming your gated community. I went out there, I saw the real fear. America's all walks of life terrified to go outside. A community being sieged by tyrants. People asked to show their papers. America's getting detained and even gunned down. Wake up. Because I thought maybe I was wrong, but I thought maybe he would be a little bit more understanding. He was not a little bit more understanding at all.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, as soon as I tweeted that, he insta-locked what you hear from some of the dumbest people on the planet, which is, oh, you abuse your dog though. Oh, you're a dog abuser. You live in a gated community. You're rich too. Blah blah blah. And it's like he did the KFC double down, right? And even his own fans are cooking him too, right? Like his own fans are cooking his ass and saying like, you should probably stay out of this, right? Like even his own fans were like, bro, I didn't even with you like that, but you're actually right on this. Oh, Los Pooos, why are you making me agree with Hassan? I hate that guy. All this shit, right? Maybe they'll open up their third eye for some reason in the aftermath of this and wake up that they've been getting cooked. He responded to my, you say this because they're not storming your gated community. You're a direct reason people are getting gunned down with your lunatic insanity riddled rants and convincing people these aren't real law enforcement officers and that they need to do something about it. Vance, who is this person? He's just like kick streamer. He's been around for a while. He's a little bit of a lol cow. People make fun of him a lot, but like, he has like a modest audience, whatever, like a modest sized audience. It don't matter. He's like a New Jersey dip.
I think he like streams with his dad or something too. Or it's not even his dad, is it? It's like some random older guy that's also from Jersey, or maybe it is his dad. I don't know. I can't fucking remember. Yeah,
living in Florida now, doing gambling ads, and Drake's number one dick rider, right? Or number two dick rider. I guess DJ Academics is number one, and he's like, number two. But it's so stupid to be like, I'm the reason why ICE is killing people. Like you have to be a real moron.
Wait, Drake? Sorry, Hassan just like rapid fired all that shit. I like, huh? This guy like knows Drake. He's like a Drake Drake stan, huh?
To come up with that idea, and it turns out he is a real fucking moron. You're not out anywhere. You live in a mansion and was spoon-fed your existence by a rich family. You don't know shit about the real world, and you fill the heads of all these impressionable people with hate-mongering, disturbing rhetoric. Yeah, guys, I taught you to hate when a rogue federal agency at the direction of a fascist administration starts killing people in the streets. If it wasn't for me, you would have been like, oh, I love this. I love when there's a military occupation on an American city directed by an American president. That's actually my biggest thing.
I was loving ICE until Hassan wokeified me and told me what to think, and then I started hating ICE.
I want more of that, happened. But then you encounter my commentary and you go, wait a minute, now I'm mad. Like, that's how little he thinks of everyone, right? That's how he also grossly overestimates his intelligence, even though he has no intelligence whatsoever. And this is demonstrated by the fact that he literally makes it seem as though I'm the reason why people are mad. Anyway, and then he says you're not out there, which is also not true, but whatever. It's not even politics, you're just a lost person who shocks the dog and preaches nonsense to pre-tweens, right? Got cooked by Brandon, a bunch of other people. To which I replied with, the American government is laying siege on a city, wounding, gassing, disappearing, killing people, and this out-of-touch donut thinks you should just sit there and eat it. I know it's ironic for me to say this, but streamers truly deserve less. I've been doing this for 12 years, lard ass. Yes, I'm the reason why Trump is sending ICE to blue cities to terrorize the population. This is your brain on internet drama. You're a whole ass adult. Either stick to begging Drake for validation or read a goddamn book. If you're gonna speak on politics, you moron. Lowe's is just giving realistic advice. People are getting shot at these protests. Telling people to stay home is the right thing. It's like, I guess this is just like peasant mindset, right? Like some people are just like permanently broken.
Yeah, don't go out and protest. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. They're gonna kill you. This is exactly what the administration wants. That, like, the CIA is cheering right now when they read shit like that. Okay, they're like, yeah, yes. Fucking CIA celebrating meme. Okay, that's it. That's it. Like, unironically, like, if anybody is Fed posting it, it's the people that are saying that. Like, oh no, it's just common sense. It's just just stay inside. Just stay inside. You'll get hurt. Don't go out there. Don't protest. Don't protest. Oh, I know it's bad. I know you hate it. Oh, I hate it too, but just stay inside though. Just stay inside there. Don't go outside.
They are permanently relegated to peasantry, and they'll never recover from it, right? They will always look at situations like this and just be like, this is good actually, and you should just comply even harder than the way that you could have complied. Anyway, and then of course, the other opportunists are tuning in, because he said, I'll be live at 3 p.m. today, done tweeting, and people trying to twist my words. One thing about me is you'll never be able to twist my words. I use common sense, and I'm not political, and I don't aim to divide.
he said it. He actually said it, bro.
It's my favorite. My favorite is, I'm just doing common sense. It's just common sense to allow a Nazi-style siege on an American city where you're kidnapping and disappearing and wounding Americans, and then you're also detaining them, and you're asking them for their papers, and then when people say, hey, we don't like this, we kill them, and that's common sense. I'm not political. I love common sense. I responded, I said, give me a call if you want an adult to walk you through this troubling time when people are being killed by our government, and somehow you're still the biggest victim. To which, of course, XQC instantly, because he's Mr. everything is content that I can farm. Said, don't fall for it, Los. He just wants free wins on Discord voice, which, by the way, this is a dunk on Los Pooos, ironically enough. Like, he's literally saying, Los Pooos, you're too stupid to debate Hassan. Not an intellectual conversation / debate. He actively dodges me because he can't smurf on me anymore. He farms low elo lobbies exclusively these days. This is so funny. The XQC thinks he is a high elo debater. He's still mad because I told him I'll only talk to him if he gets Asmongold on the line. In any case, I'm down. I'm willing to talk to Los Pooos. I'd be very, very courteous.
XQC is just like, he's just milquetoast. Unironically, he has elite ball knowledge when it comes to like online drama and like kind of reading content creators and their motivations. So, you know, he's a trusted source for that sort of thing, I think. But not that it really fucking matters. Internet drama isn't real. Okay, it doesn't fucking matter. None of that
to him too. A lot more than he deserves, for sure. That's just not how I operate, and many people get mad at me for that. But I think it's much better to just have like a normal conversation. Connor, I saw your
people get mad at you for everything.
Walter Jr.
People get mad at you for shit that you don't do.
Connor's pants is just like, he is a terrifying figure for all right wingers on the internet. I mean, this is good. This is like information warfare, ladies and gentlemen, fighting them in their own territory. They thought they had this area secured. They thought they could just be as right wing as they possibly could be. But ladies and gentlemen, our strongest info warriors are fighting out there. Connor eats pants. Connor eats pants. They're calling him. Felix also responded. He said, "Be a stupid barnyard animal. Take your pants off when someone donates $35 on your stream. Salute the screaming rapists who execute your neighbors and run away. If anyone asks your name, tell them I am Mud. I love you. Please find use for me, sir. Enjoy your grain feed." So that's the situation, but that's not the only thing that was going on. If you want to understand, once again, the charlatans out there's a lot of people who are actually a lot more intelligent than Los Pooos, right? Like Los Pooos is like the classic, I'm apolitical. What are you doing? I'm apolitical, that kind of thing, right? And yet there are people who are actually liberals, right? Who present themselves as liberals, who actually have a not like a very big, not like a giant audience, definitely an audience that is diminishing, but like spend all of their time still looking at horrible things that are happening and then somehow finding a way to tie it back to their, to the person that they despise the most. That was, of course, is Destiny, also known as Sexpestiny, saw the American Gestapo laying siege on Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then turned around and was like, I'm actually really mad that, Hassan is out there protesting. I'm not going to go outside and protest.
Of course, Destiny fucks it up. Okay, look, for those of you that don't know, Destiny and his community have been doing Ice Watch non-stop, and I've talked about this. I was talking about this, I think just a few days ago. And I was talking about how awesome that is, and like, oh, I hope he keeps it up. Yeah. Well, here we are. Okay. Wow. Who could have seen this coming? Yo, Destiny rolling over and fucking doing pro-state propaganda. Yeah, who would have thought? Yeah, we're gonna watch Ice, and we're gonna finger wag them, and we're gonna say how much we don't like it, but don't go out there and protest. Don't do that. That's dangerous. You could get hurt. Do not do that. Do not protest. No, just stay inside and be angry. Be angry inside and don't go out. Yeah, man.
Myself, of course, I would never do that because I'm a pussy, I'm a coward, but I will also, from my cowardly point of privilege, in my own home, will demand that my cult-like audience go and disrupt what he's trying to do so that we can get a LSF clip off. Because if you notice, there weren't any LSF clips off of the protest streams, even though, 70,000 people were watching, because they don't make it there. The only clips that make it there are ones that these guys try to manipulate in a certain way to try to make it seem as though it's like a super negative thing. And it's gone beyond. Now he's just like genuinely trying to get me killed using his cult to try to put a super negative thing. And it's gone beyond.
His location should be publicly available at all times when he's live streaming. He should create a Track Hassan X account that posts his current location at protest.
Now he's just like genuinely trying to get me killed, using his cult to try to put a direct crosshair on me, like direct target on me. I don't know why he won't just like focus on being a normal human being. But this dork ass cult loser said, you have a moral obligation to bully the fuck out of this guy if you ever see him in one of your protests. Don't let the CCP paid agitators infiltrate liberal crowds of protesters. Make his presence as uncomfortable as possible until he's forced to pack up and fuck off back to his WeHo mansion. First they say, all you do is sit in your WeHo mansion. And then when I'm not there, they go, oh, actually we should bully you until you go back to your WeHo mansion. Now, of course, he's saying this.
I don't understand how, like, there are people that will say that like Hassan and his community harasses they harass fucking Destiny. And it's like, where's the evidence then? And in fact, there's actually evidence of the reversed exact opposite fucking happening. Destiny is harassing Hassan. Like, this shit is insane to me, dude. Like, how is he not banned on every platform? How? When you're just overtly saying, like, yeah, you need to go after Hassan, you need to find him in real life and, like, harass him, and also, like, we need to somehow make a Hassan tracker so that we can all know where he is when he's out live streaming in public. Like this shit is insane, dog. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, I hate to say like it's the current year, but we're in the big 2026, dog. How is this shit allowed on any platform at all? This is crazy.
Kind of thing, because he's a loser.
This is unhinged.
If you are a fan of Destiny, understand, please. I know there's a lot of haters that come in here to like look at all the clips and stuff to try to see if they can find something, disparage me or smear me or whatever. He has like Jewish race. This is all he cares about. Okay, this is all he cares about. This is all he cares about. Nothing else. He just masquerades as a liberal, and maybe he has some liberal points of view. He really does hate Republicans for one reason or another. There's plenty of reasons to hate Republicans. I will say that, and he's a good debater. I will also admit that as well. But at the end of the day, his worldview is hollow. Okay, there's nothing there. It's just pure spite. This way, he can actually make it seem as though he's not just offended or envious or mad that there's someone else out there that liberals are paying attention to and not him, right? But instead, this is a serious, reasonable disagreement, an ideological disagreement that he has with me. If you genuinely were invested in liberalism, if you were genuinely invested in like combating Republicans, right? At this point, you probably would not align yourself historically with so many neo-Nazis and like that. But then also on top of that, you wouldn't be focusing on this, right? You wouldn't be focusing on this at all. This entire drama space on the internet where like all these other like drama farmers go to is led by individuals that have no investment in politics at all, that are totally sheltered from the impact of politics because they make like a decent amount of money and they just stay at their homes. They only look at politics through the lens of drama, where personal grievances and envy is presented as significant political disagreements that must be addressed, where organized smear campaigns, clipping people out of context, making it seem like they said something that they didn't say, making it seem like they believe something that they don't believe, are treated like accountability initiatives, right? That's what they do. It's not actually about accountability. It's just one man's personal vendetta. And moments like this clearly show that reality. This is a person who has quite literally debated to the ends of time that I'm a more dangerous figure for America than Adolf Hitler. He has said that he would rather vote for Adolf Hitler than vote for someone like myself. That's not even a joke. And for a lot of people that are in the commentary sphere that think this guy is like, brilliant, even though his own personal audience is basically like a cult and doesn't have a lot of motion, they do end up swinging way above their weight class with regular frequency because they're very online. They brigade Reddit all the time. They've been using LSF as like a cum sleeve for the longest time. And that's it. They look to every single thing that I do here, not as like a point to organize around, even if they are supposed to be in agreement with it, but a point to like criticize. They're like, oh, well, he went out there, but also he actually was doing he went out there, but the wrong way. You know what I mean? I didn't go out there, of course, but if I did, I would go out there the right way. And basically it's just Gamergate. It's completely sociopathic. It's an ongoing, 7-year vendetta at this point, and he's just never going to let it go. Even though this kind of sentiment has no motion in the real world, as we see over and over again, it does have a tendency to make people think, make people online think twice, right? Every now and then. And before you say, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this? I'll get to it in a second. Because like he is quite literally saying, when you go out to protest, like you shouldn't care about the actual protest itself. You should go out to harass this person. I mean, look at the message that he's putting out there.
I think this shit needs to be called out no matter what. Like I don't know what Hassan is getting at here, but like even if it were just this, like that is, I still can't get over that he was like talking about making a Hassan tracker. That's so crazy, man. That is so insane. What the fuck, man?
His audience has already targeted me in public before. It was a very funny moment when at the DNC one of them came, and then we found out that he was a ginormous racist.
Oh, I remember this, yeah. The Jesus.
He was in his own Discord being like, oh, I'm seeing him here. I'm shaking. He's done that before. He's also encouraged that before. But what happens when one of his fans actually has a knife or a gun? You know what I mean? I think he just hates people. He sees less than himself. You wouldn't do this if he showed up to support some pro-Palestine protest. What the hell? I saw Hassan saying it's a good thing that he changed his position on Israel, even if it's not out of principle. Yes, this is the whole point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that this is utterly unproductive. That's the point. If he actually truly cared about combating ICE, he wouldn't be doing this. Why would you be doing this? We're supposed to be on the same side, right? But he doesn't care. All of this stuff is just another way to get an own. Ethan Klein does this all the time as well. He rarely ever talks about any of the ongoing incidents around the world unless he can like somehow tie it back to iDubbbz or tie it back to me. He's posted more about me on his Instagram stories, and every time I see it, it's like a jump scare. There'll be like 15 Instagram stories in a row of him like trying to yell at me. He cares more about that stuff. He cares more about like using any and everything that's going on in a way to dunk on me than to actually address the real atrocities that are taking place. These guys are psychotic. Now, many of you in this community don't even know this stuff because I rarely ever cover it because I feel like it's utterly unproductive and very stupid to cover it. I have a job to do. My job is to explain the news to people, right? My job is to try to get people out there, to organize, to try to stop the Trump administration. And it's crazy that these guys would be like, well, we'll just vote for Kamala Harris and then that's it. That's nothing else, okay? And then we'll also never go outside and we'll never do anything. And the only time we ever bring anything up, the only time we ever criticize anything that's going on is to somehow make it a dunk on, people like myself, people like on the left. It's just crazy to me.
Don't do anything scary, guys. Don't do anything scary. Oh no, don't resist. Don't resist the fascism. Don't do that. No. No, we just have to debate bro our way out of this, dude. We have to do it in the marketplace of ideas, bro. That's it.
In any case, obviously this is utterly motionless nonsense.
What we gotta do.
But the reason why I bring it up is because he's straight up saying if Dan wants to do something useful and still be a Hassan hater, he should create a Track Hassan X account that posts his current location when he's out at protest. His location should be publicly available at all times while he's live streaming. This is him and his cult. This is this morning telling his co-host, his podcast co-host, Dan Stalkman, who has been trying to get me deplatformed and has worked alongside the ADL and things like that to actively get a bunch of pro-Palestinian people deplatformed on this platform for maintaining the he now majority position, right? He's telling him like, don't just stalk him the way that you've been stalking him. Stalk him better. Stalk him directly. Yeah, this is the other thing that I was talking about. Like, I said the siege on Minneapolis, Minnesota is where you really see the West Bank occupation tactics on U.S. soil. Hassan's constant deflection to Israel is starting to amount to a defense of Donald Trump. He's shifting the blame off Trump every time he does this. This is the dumbest way to try to argue. And he, of course, clipped my perspective out of context.
No, this is something that Palestinians were saying for years, and nobody listened. You know, I mean, I say Palestinians were saying it, like, obviously not most of them, okay? Like, most Palestinians were just trying to survive, okay? But there were many Palestinians that said, hey, America, Americans, they what they're doing to us, we're the testing ground. Gaza is the they're gonna use it on you. And now, look at what's happening. Oh man, they're using it on us. Wow, that's so crazy. And then these dipshits are like, well, oh, everything's about Israel. Everything's about Israel. Well, not everything, but like, yeah, a lot of this shit is highly related. That's it. What they've done to Palestinians, they'll do to you. What the intelligence community did to black people, did to African Americans, they will do to you. They will do it.
Once again, but that's what I mean. These guys cannot argue on the virtues. And remember, this person has literally openly stated that it would be totally justifiable to attack and kill me in real life. This person who has solicited nudes from a minor, as we now know in a civil court case that's ongoing, because he distributed revenge porn and his victims got together and sued him. And he spent every waking moment presenting himself as like this woke guy on the one side. Not even a woke guy. He's very edgy. He loves to say slurs, but like a liberal debate god, while simultaneously he's doing stuff that's like completely antithetical to being in any way, shape, or form protective of minority populations. He's even like fantasized about calling ICE on one of his victims, right? I feel like he does this platform off you. There's no way his community is as large as ours. There's just more vociferous and more prolific online. He lashes out. I know, but the reason why I'm showing this kind of stuff is so that people understand that this isn't like every now and then I got to check in and explain to you what I have to be dealing with, right? And then also on top of that, so that you're on the lookout for, you know, bad faith actors like this if I go outside. Do I think platforms should take action against people like this? Yes, I do. I think this goes far beyond just like having reasonable political disagreements. You know what I mean? You're like actively demanding to your cult-like fan base that they go out and find me in the wild and like harass me, or maybe do something else other than harass me. Then it'll be fine. You know, it'll be good. It's fine. Oh yeah, Rage said, don't talk to him, Laws. You'll get cooked. If you do the same asthma method and stay in your circle jerk, you can be a bot and just think you're right 24/7. Exactly. I don't know if you heard what came out about Tectone, but you could have a case against them. They're threatening your life and defaming you. Both have had horrible things come out in the legal system, let alone. I know Tone stuff we'll get to in a little bit, but like, I mean, that's another one of those losers. Again, judge me by my enemies moment, of course. Tone was in court and hasn't been tweeting as much, or hasn't been like posting or live streaming as much. I mean, you probably don't pay attention to that sort of thing. I certainly don't, but that's what people say. He has not been doing enough posting, partially because he had an ongoing court case, an active court case, which by the way, finalized recently, and it caused his talent agency, run by his best friend and #1 defender, Asmongold, to drop him. We have terminated our relationship with Tectone. Several months ago, we initiated our separation process and recently have finalized his departure. And the reason why this happened is because after a long and contentious court battle with his ex-partner who accused him of sexually assaulting. From what I understand, the court case has been finalized. I don't know the exact details. I haven't been following it closely. From what I understand, the civil proceedings came to a close, and the victim was able to successfully sue. Now, one of the things that's interesting, apparently Miskiff sent like a court reporter to the court notes in this process. I didn't get to see all this stuff because I was out in the streets of Minneapolis. Yeah, and she also posted this after, of course, said happy day. Much love to this queen. I mean, seriously, I'm sorry that you had to go through all of that and then probably get traumatized altogether one more time in the court process, but at least now you have a moment of respite. But yeah, I saw this. Tectone admits in court he pivoted to on Hassan and shilling right-wing content because he was accused of sexual assault. Lawyer replied, we've been in deposition for over, 7-9 months, I think, and you've only spent 15 minutes searching for tweets. Tectone responded, and I quote, yes. He defended his rant by saying, when a content creator in our space gets these accusations, they have to pivot content to stay relevant. Then he brought Hassanabi saying, like how when he shocked his dog. So apparently he did a right-wing pivot, and he thought that what Hassanabi bad would work.
He said that in court?
The reason why I laugh about this stuff is because like you cannot be that online, man. This is the equivalent of something I joke about all the time. Like imagine someone does a murder and then they're being
your honor, but Hassan shocks his dog,
and they turn to the judge and they go, well, Hassanabi shocked his dog. Why aren't you prosecuting him? It's like, bro, are you stupid? Like, you're the one who's in trouble, not some fantasy that you concocted in your mind. Are you that dumb? Now, of course, for him, he is that dumb, yes. But if you look at his profile, you see it. You see that pivot very clearly, okay? Somewhere along the line, he decides he's a right-winger. And when he becomes a right-winger, eating off of Asmongold's dick to the best of his ability, because he sees Asmongold really popping off with this kind of stuff, it's all clips out of context, consistently talking about me. Same exact thing that Asmongold does with like AI-boosted thumbnails. Content cop Hassan and Ludwig. Ethan Klein lawsuit dropped, and it's bad.
What is Leaflet gonna say about this? That's the question. Let's see if she uploaded already. That's crazy.
His mind. I mean, he was eating good. Look, 359,000 views 6 months ago, right? This ties back to what I was talking about. The whole notion that like a lot of people are forced into submission, forced into silence on the internet because they only see this. And when a lot of my supposedly woke progressive friends did not want to turn around and say this kind of stuff is so stupid. Hassan's reputation is now 400,000 views. Our work TikToker tried to ruin a viewer's life on stream. Hassan thinks he's a victim. Ian and Anissa. Hassan is delusional, right? Hassan crashed out on a lawyer over the truth. Asmongold versus Hassan. Lawyer lays down the law on Hassan. And then when he does like anime related, nobody cares. But that's how easy it is to be a right-wing moron on the internet. This is why I always say nobody grifts to the left. Grifting to the right is so easy. You don't have to know anything. You just have to look at like whatever large left content creator exists, or even someone that's like maybe somewhat quiet but still has like a good conscience and will every now and then speak out on, you know, issues and just yell at them and say that they're woke, say that they're a woke terrorist that must be punished, and then have your newfound audience go and harass them endlessly, harass them into submission. Now, part of the reason why he was doing this, and I didn't really know about him at all, was because he came after me in one of these incidents, right? In any case, he was a massive gooner. He was into lolly. He was a weirdo to begin with, and he was also an abuser. That's why we were calling him Tone, right? Apparently, the reason why he did this, the reason why he pivoted, was because he wanted to maintain relevance, and he openly admitted that in court.
Every time, man. Every fucking time. What the hell? What the hell is going on, man? Oh, I don't know.
Quiet part out loud. I don't think I have brought up Tectone, Tectone more than maybe twice. Look at the amount of videos he's made. Last time I brought him up was when we found out that he's a generational, that his dad was such a prolific in the military that they wrote a bill around it. They wrote a goddamn bill around his father's in the military. Do you know how hard it is? Do you know how hard it is to get prosecuted for in the military? Do you know how big of a problem sexual assault among the ranks is? And I would have never found that out if he hadn't just like, you know, yelled at me for no reason. Yeah, and then he blamed me. He cried and blamed me for it too. Hassan is zeroing in on Tectone right now. This is the last time I talked about him. Specifically Tectone's dad for alleged previous sexual harassment in the army. Bald himself. It's a familial obligation over here. Bro's going after my 75-year-old cancer-ridden dad because of an alleged sexual harassment claim from 17 years ago.
So Tectone gets accused of sexual misconduct, and then he pivots to fuck Hassan content to distract from it. And then Hassan sees it, and he's like, well, your dad is a rapist. Okay. And then Tectone starts crying. He starts crying. Literally. Like, I'm not making that up. Like, he literally cried about it. Even though it's fucking true, his dad is a rapist, okay? And anyway, and now he's just like admitting all of it in court? Why? What, dude? You could not torture this out of me. If this were me, you could not torture me hard enough to get me to admit this shit. What the fuck? Like, let alone just depose me. Like, I would be silent. Why the fuck would you say this?
When I was 15 years old, to try to paint me as a rapist.
That's
this guy's
so crazy.
Psychotic. He must be upset because his best friend's on trial right now. I don't know who he means when I said best friend. To which I responded with, they got your dad's sex crimes in the congressional record, man. Why are you still chirping? You know what? That deserves another retweet, you know, for today.
Story of Colonel Michael Robertson,
they got
who commanded Fort Bliss's 31st Combat Support Hospital at Camp Dwyer, a military base and airfield in the Helmand River Valley in Afghanistan. Last week, Colonel Robertson was convicted by a military judge of 14 charges, including having pornography on his government computer, sexually harassing 3 women, and assaulting 5 women. 8 women that served under his command testified at great cost to their careers and their privacy. Colonel Robertson routinely touched them without permission on their breasts, thighs, and buttocks, and encouraged them to look at pornography computer. Some testified the harassment occurred daily. Sadly, the military careers of these 8 women who bravely did the right thing are almost assuredly destroyed. A major who filed a claim against Robertson said, quote, I don't know if my career was in jeopardy for doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's his dad. That's your man's. That's your dads you be hanging with. They got your pops on sex assault charges. I guess they were like, no, this is what was passed down, you know, generationally.
Dude,
to
prison.
Me. Tone. Now, why am I talking about this? Because all of these guys are some of the worst monstrous pieces of shit on the internet. And once they do that right-wing pivot, it's over. I don't think that he will, I mean, he'll never have a moment of respite. Like everyone will constantly, just like they do with Destiny, they will constantly bring up that he's a pedophile, right? And with Tone, they will constantly bring up that he's a rapist. But it doesn't really matter because he has already created a community for himself, right? He's already created a right-wing community for himself, and right-wingers, unfortunately, I wish they were smarter, but they're not so smart. And also, for the most part, they just kind of organize around the anger that they feel towards what they think is like, you know, liberal woke mindset. But the other reason why I'm talking about this is because this is a bad week for Asmongold, because this is another one of his close and personal best friends that has been outed for weird sexual misconduct and sexual abuse in this circumstance, right? So let's see what he had to say about this.
And what's this here? After your stream, shit went crazy. I have no idea what happened yesterday. I really don't. I saw like a bunch of stuff got leaked and like people were like making up rumors. I'm not going to comment on any of that stuff. I think that anybody knows why. I'm just not even going to get into it. So
oh, that's so strange that so many of his friends are sexual deviants and consistently finding themselves in these sorts of issues, and all of a sudden you got nothing to say. Oh, I'm just oblivious. Yeah, I don't know.
Any drama farmers, people that are looking to kind of get a, have like some kind of little bits of information or my take on it, it's just not going to happen.
Mr. I don't do research. Mr. I probably should do more research on this stuff. So I showed you a couple of these guys, and now you might understand why Los Pooos is a angel in comparison to these dips, right? That's it. There's levels to it. I think Los Pooos is savable. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he's more so a vibes guy. He's more so a vibes guy, okay? That's what I think. Maybe I'm being too charitable. But yeah, one by one, these motherfuckers are dropping like flies left and right. But just understand that when you see someone constantly pumping this, when you see someone constantly pivoting to the right, constantly pumping, doing this, Hassan obliterated by Asmongold and Tectone again. Yeah, just like between Albania and China, they got 1.4 billion communists in the world, Asmongold and Tectone, double team Hassan, does a Goodbye Charlie video, all this stuff. And speaking of Asmongold, the reason why I'm pivoting here, the reason why I'm talking about Asmongold from Tectone to Asmongold is because Asmongold owns Mythic Talent. This is one of the many businesses that he owns. He's one of the co-founders of Mythic Talent. It's a talent agency. Do you understand how these motherfuckers work? Like the reason why I'm telling you is because like if you see a bunch of slop tubers, a bunch of people that are like, I'm just apolitical, I'm just common sense, I really hate this one guy who's a socialist. Oh, he's the real enemy. You should know how evil he is. Just know what they're doing. They're doing this for a reason. And some of them will even be liberals like Sex Pestany, also involved in his own personal court case where it came out that he was actually procuring child sexual abuse material from a minor that he kept in his hard drives. Like, it's not my fault that almost all of my most vociferous and most ferocious haters happen to all have these sorts of charges, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know why that like all these people gravitate towards hating on me and they don't stop either. It's not like normal. Like at least with XQC, it's usually like he farms me, whatever, but it's irrelevant ultimately. It doesn't hit the same level of ferociousness as like a Tectone who's just only doing, at least he farms everything, you know what I mean? But people like Asmongold, people like Tectone, they're just almost entirely, their political commentary, it revolves around Trump good and, Hassan bad. Because for these guys, they don't have a real political worldview, okay? They don't have a real political vision, whether good or bad. They just don't have anything, right? Like there are certain things that they believe, like, maybe some socially learned opinions about like trans people or gay people or I don't know, like black people. Like they have some points of view, but they don't have a coherent political ideology. They don't have real political conviction. They don't have a vision for a better future. So all of this is basically a game to try to boost their algorithmic status to the best of their ability. And they realize that the best possible way to do that is by doing drama, covering politics from the perspective of drama. So instead of being like, here's why Hassan is wrong because, I don't agree with what he's saying about Israel is great or whatever. Instead of that, they just go, Hassan is a terrorist, right? Hassan is getting deplatformed again. And a lot of people respond positively to that, unfortunately, because a lot of people also don't have that political education. They don't have that political education either. They don't have time to do the reading. They don't have time to do the understanding. So they just go, give me some easy to understand, quick hits as to why I should not listen to this person at all. And when it actually doesn't happen, when they go, Hassan has done this time, Hassan has done this time. In slop-tuber circles, you are now known to have anti-pedophilia AOE aura because all your ops are pedos. Yeah, I don't know what the it is. I mean, even Dr. Disrespect. Even Dr. Disrespect. Every single time, brother. How is that possible? That's why it hits every time I say, judge me by my enemies. In any case, they'll be like, Hassan is finished. Hassan is finished over and over again to like a smaller and smaller and smaller audience. And then inevitably they get to, why is he not finished? Well, that's because he owns Twitch. Why is he not finished? Because he actually blackmails all of his friends. He must have blackmail on all of his friends. Also, we should make it harder for his friends to come out and defend him, or defend the truth rather. We should also harass them too. We should go after them too so that like he doesn't even have any support system whatsoever. So that it's easier to just like bully and punish people for having any progressive opinions whatsoever. And then people sit around and go, how did we get here? How did everyone get so right-wing? Well, this is part of the reason why, because no one wants to stand up. And they have been very effective for like the last 3 to 4 years. They've been very, very effective in the last 3 to 4 years, but their impact is softening now because people are so frustrated because reality is hitting them in the face. And when you have ICE agents sieging, laying siege on American cities, killing Americans, and you're going to a guy that you are supposed to get political opinions from, and the guy that you're supposed to get political opinions from is like, well, you know who's actually really the villain here? Hassan. Eventually people are gonna be like, actually, he's out there. You're just on him from your house. And I don't agree with you. And that change is coming. That's why I said woke is back. That's why I'm saying woke is eventually gonna be back. They can't comprehend why adults that are invested in the political process will turn around and court me for my opinion.
Back,
whether they be actual politicians, whether they be politicians that actually worked in the previous administration,
haven't you been on the internet?
For higher office, or all of these media outlets.
It's the hottest thing right now.
My perspective is they're like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why are the adults that I respect not seeing what I see? Maybe it's because your brain is infested with worms. Okay, that's it.